let's get into it.
We have the one and only Rory from Rory and the Boys.
Rory and the Boys.
I saw that. You mentioned that on a reaction video, right?
We mentioned that on
Yeah.
a live podcast in front of 2,000 people.
I love that. Yeah, I'm here for it. We're just gonna change our name to Rory
Yes.
and the Boys,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
It's
Well-
got a very it has a very sort of the like 70s, 60s, the Beatles-esque, like what was it like? There was a lot of artists back in the day that had the, like Robert Palmer and the whatevers, or Nick Cave and the Bad
Yeah.
Seeds. Yeah.
It reminds me
you
of
know
like
what
a cartoon from the 90s. Like,
have you guys seen that movie, The Other Guys?
yeah.
Yes.
It reminds me
Mike.
of that, where it's Dirty Mike and the Boys when they have the soup kitchen in
Yeah.
his Prius. Yeah. You know what's a crazy story about that actually is that our van and trailer a few years ago got stolen outside of the apartment complex I lived in, and horrible time. And they ended up finding our van abandoned in an apple orchard, like an hour and a half from where I lived. And it was a bunch of homeless people were living in there, and they found like a condom in this boot. And I was like, dude, they were having a soup kitchen in our van. They straight up were, I think, just, dude, there was a tattoo gun and shit. It was crazy.
Did anyone say, how do you like them apples? Because that would be an appropriate time for that.
No, I was just dealing with a police report and just assessing.
You're being an adult
we
in the
lost
situation.
so much money. Yeah.
They found
Somehow
out what
found
really
it, though.
happened when they got to the core of it.
Yeah, there you go.
Apple puns. Look, before we go any further,
I'm not done. I want to talk about them being stalked for a while.
I want to say that Rory and the Boys is in no way referencing that kind of thing. It was more of a how much of a big person you've become in the scene, such an iconic frontman and voice in the scene.
Thanks.
No way to suggest that you were having soup kitchens. So
I appreciate that. I disagree. I don't think I'm that big of a figure, but that's very nice of you. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, that's a hard thing to hear because one, you're a humble, lovely dude, but it is true. We put a thing up a few weeks ago. Johnny and I have an argument about something, as we do, and we're talking about people who are like have the big voices in the scene, and we put a thing up being like, who are, and you were in the top 4 for everyone. Not a single person was like, nah, Rory doesn't belong in there, and that's such a cool thing. And I guess I said, I know you're humble and you can't really take that, but you have become something of a figurehead,
an icon.
What it is to have the perfect voice in this scene. You've got this amazing melody, but also a harsh abrasion that is like just hits the spot.
Thanks, dude. I think I'm too self-deprecating to take a compliment, but it is cool. It's been nice. Like I just saw this guy, he works A&R at our label, and he made some comment like that. He's like, every time your band name comes up, it's always right next to somebody's talking about Bad Omens and Sleep Token, and then your name is always like the third name that's brought up in conversation. It was just cool to yeah, it was like, that's sick. Even we're obviously not as popular as those bands, but it's very cool to feel like we're even in the conversation, It's just because those are arguably the biggest rock bands in the world right now, it feels like.
This is going to sound like a bit of a smoke blowing intro to this thing, but it is very much so a testament to your voice. Obviously, the band is incredible. You write incredible music and you play incredibly well together, but it is a testament to you as a vocalist, though, because like Nate said, when we put up this thing, we were like, we don't want to know who has the best voice. We want to know who you think is the best all-round vocalist, who can do the cleans, the falsettos, touch on different genres, do the heavies. That is clearly, when we talk about the new album, is clearly something that is a focal point for you as a writer.
It definitely is. Yeah. I mean, it's like some of the songs were just written on piano in my living room, and then I would bring them to Dan. And so it would be very like lyrical and vocal focused. And then we kind of would build the rest of the songs around it. And that's not to say that the band is like an afterthought, because I do feel like it's all so important that it comes together at the end. But it is, I think it's no secret. Like we we are a vocal focused band, I think for sure. But I think everything else has to be good too. Otherwise, I would just be like a solo artist, which I don't want to do. So
That's a
yeah.
great point that I think a lot of people would miss. Like obviously we joke about Rory and the boys, but when you have a front person with your vocal range, that can become the focus. But I think it's really cool that you're like saying like if it was just that, it would be a solid project. It's not. It's the whole band, and it's the
Yeah.
culmination of everyone coming together that makes Dayseeker. That's really cool.
I know it's funny because I'll see comments like that of people being like, "Well, yeah, it's just a pop solo project now, or it's Hurtwave," and I'm like, "This is a very different sound. Like it is, it's a band, But I think so. Those people usually want to hear like it's a band constantly from the start of the song to the end, and I think
Sure.
we figured out a while ago that like you can build dynamics in a song by, maybe it's mostly production in the beginning and the band hits out of nowhere and it creates this a dynamic sonic thing versus, and there are some bands out there, that are it's just a couple of guitars, bass, drums, and vocals the whole time. But I feel like we lean into the pop side of our band and just like cool production. Like that stuff is interesting to myself and the guys.
Yeah, cool. Now, you're obviously going to be joining us again in Australia, and we get to annoy you for about 3 days in a row, which is really fucking cool. We're very excited to have you guys back out here
And
again.
kind of sorry for you.
No, I love you guys, dude. I'm excited to. Are you guys going to all three shows?
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We'll get some
Let's hang,
time
dude.
in.
Yeah.
But obviously, a huge, huge lineup to be a part of, man. Like, you guys are no strangers to that. Let me ask about the preparation for a festival set in Australia in the middle of summer, sandwiched between so many different styles. We've got iconic bands, we've got new bands, heavy bands, soft bands, everything in between. How's the preparation go with the set list for you guys?
Um, we just try and pick like a lot of songs that go over super well live. It's funny because Australia is getting a couple songs live that we've never played in front of a crowd before. Like we haven't played Crawl Back to My Coffin or Bloodlust in front of a crowd. And I
Is this the
think
first show since albums dropped?
um no, we had the album dropped and then we had three shows left on a tour. But
Okay.
at that point, it's like to change your set list
Yeah.
around and we were still playing a lot of new stuff, but I think Crawl Back to My Coffin came out and then we only had 3 days left of tour and we were sometimes too it's nice to let a song sit out for a second and then you start
Yeah, for
playing
sure.
it so people actually know the words. But no, it's a similar approach. We're just gonna play all of our top singles and in my opinion, like the best stuff we've put out. It's a little nerve-wracking because we unfortunately mutually parted ways with our guitar player a few weeks ago, and so these shows will be our first time with our good friend who's filling in, and he's an incredible guitar player, but it is just like we have to rehearse with somebody new and
Yeah,
different.
of
And
course.
he's literally one of the best guitar players I've ever met in my life, so I'm sure he's going to do great. But it is a little, I don't want to say unsettling. It's just a little, yeah, we're all a little
It's
nervous because we got to
daunting.
rehearse and just make sure that, um, yeah, that he's good to go, that the shows go off well because our live show is super important to us. But I have faith it's gonna be great, and it's our first time playing a festival in Australia, so should
Yeah.
be good.
The last time we saw you was in a much more intimate, well, not really intimate, you played the Horton, but you're in like a slightly smaller setting, more controlled. Is that because of the aesthetic that comes with Dayseeker? And it is quite a dark, brooding look. Playing in the hot sun of Australia in summer, is that something that you like take into consideration from like the way you're presenting yourself in your shows? Or is it just like, nope, this is our thing, we're doing it, and we'll just regret it later
No,
on?
see, this is an era for the band. They're actually just coming out in board shorts and no shirts. Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah,
fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Rory and the
There's
boys.
your clickbait right there.
yeah. No, it's funny. It should probably make me rethink what we wear live, but we've just committed to the suits and stuff. It's well, everybody kind of does their own thing now, which is nice, but still kind of like yeah, fishnet mesh, whatever. But it's funny. We did Louder Than Life in Louisville in Kentucky a few months ago, and we were so excited for it because our slot was us, Spirit Box, and then Sleep Token, and so we knew we were gonna have a lot of people watching, and
Yeah.
man, that was I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's because I drank a coconut water like before we went on stage, and I was like, hell yeah, electrolytes, this is gonna be great. And I don't know if something about that did something to me, but I almost fainted. It was like my heat exhaustion was so crazy. I got we have a little break interlude around like three songs left of our set, and we were I think 30 minutes into our show, and I was going off side stage, and our tech is always like, everything good? I'm always like, yeah, it's great. And I walked off side stage and I could just see the room, or I could just see the side
Oh,
stage like
Oh
burning.
shit.
yeah.
And I was like, I feel like I'm gonna puke or pass out. Like I had to tone it down. But I was wearing leather pants, and I was just like, this is so stupid. I need
Rethink
a
this.
hot show friendly outfit. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I do think our show is better experience in a darker room with like a vibey light show. So it does feel strange sometimes stepping out in peak sunlight, and it's just really bright out and everything. But we did a few festivals over the last couple of months, and we were usually playing when it was still sunny out, and we still had a blast. Like still a good time, good crowds, and we have a lot of love for Australia in particular. So I think it's going to be a good time.
I think one of the cool things though about where you're playing and when you're playing is I don't know how well you know Australians, but at festivals they tend to like to drink a lot, like a real lot. So you guys are playing at the perfect time where people are just buzzed up enough, but they're not like over it.
Not belligerent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they're going to be able to actually appreciate you guys, I think, and really take it in. But overall, are you guys looking forward to the challenge when you look at a bill like this that's so heavily mixed in terms of genre? You look forward to the challenge of potentially converting people to the Dayseeker fandom?
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody else about this, that festivals to our band feel kind of like Spotify in real life, where
Mm.
when you headline, people buy a ticket, they're there to see you, obviously. But a festival, I feel like it is an opportunity for somebody who maybe they've kind of heard of our band and they don't know us or love us entirely, but they have like a dead gap in their schedule. They're like, yeah, I'll go check them out, whatever. And they might come see us play and walk away like a lifelong fan. And it is funny because, yeah, those shows are sometimes you have like a lot of diehard fans who are there to see you, and it's cool, but you can tell sometimes there's groups in the back who are, you finish playing your first song and they're like, I don't know, maybe. And then it feels like by the end of the set, like the applause is louder and the energy shifts, and you can kind of it's the same as when you like support, like when we did that tour, when I did that interview with you guys when we were supporting Beartooth and Pierce the Veil. Like it was a lot of Pierce fans, and you can tell that we're opening the show and they're kind of like, yeah, 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 I'm here for Pierce though. But it was the same way where it feels like you have to almost work harder because you have to win them over and convince them to like your band. But we're excited. I think some other guy said there's like almost 50,000 people at every show. And so I'm, I don't know. It's just at some point it just feels like it's your job and you just have to show up and put
Yeah,
on
for
a good
sure.
show, regardless of if they're super into you right off the bat or not. But I feel like it's a great chance to, yeah, try and convert a lot of people into being new fans of our band.
It's cool as well because Dayseeker doesn't have, I mean, you've got your own sound, but it's not like, oh, this is our genre. This is the one thing we
Mm.
do. And so on a
Yeah.
festival like Good Things, where you've got a wide mix of subgenres in the heavy space playing, you're more likely to kind of grab different people from different walks as they get by. I think it's such a cool like melting pot of genres for that reason of like getting new fans. We've spoken to so many bands, been like, oh yeah, we play Good Things, and then like the next time we came out, our crowds doubled. I think that's such a cool thing to be like, this is a really cool chance, as you said, to step up and show them what you guys are made of.
I hope so, yeah, because I know the plan is the next time we come back to Australia is to headline, but I know we're trying to aim to do like some bigger, like probably rooms that are too big for us, but that would be the hope, right? Is that we hopefully grab a lot of new people. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
especially off off the cusp of the new album being out and sitting out for a little bit, that we hopefully grab a few like just like naturally organic listeners through Spotify and stuff. Because it's actually crazy to see. It fluctuates sometimes, but I think the most amount of listeners we like on your Spotify artist app, it'll list like top cities
Yeah.
in the world, and I've definitely seen Melbourne pop in there a few times, like next to Chicago or Los Angeles, and it's crazy to see that we supported Thornhill a few years ago for our first time there, and it was like just not a lot of people knew who we were, and it was a kind of a brutal touring experience, and it's cool to see the times that we've come back and invested our time in Australia, that more people come to the shows and more people like our band. So the hope is it just keeps growing. But it's a very cool. Like I remember we sold out the Forum in Melbourne, and that was a very cool experience of just like, yeah, like we can play to pretty much as many people in Australia as we can in the States, where like we probably do better in Australia than we do in some areas of America. So it's a rewarding experience for sure. Yeah.
I think it's one of the cool things about the like geographically, like and logistically in Australia as well. We don't get a whole lot of international bands doing regional tours. So it's like if they're only going to be doing Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, like the Good Things Run, and like a lot of tours, because they might add Adelaide, but Perth is sometimes, and Tasmania is a bit of a stretch. But I think having those cities that distance apart, it's like if you're anywhere within 2 or 3 hours of those major cities, you're going to want to go because it's your only chance to see them. Whereas in the States, you've got a lot of major cities that are only 2 or 3 hours apart. So it's like,
Yeah.
the crowds are so much more dispersed than they are here. And the places that you can see the band is more concentrated.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy that you can tour like most major cities in Australia in like 10 days. But I have seen some bands from Australia do like a 3 or 4 week long run. But I've heard though they're just going to the most weird rural parts of
They're playing to
Australia.
like
It's
a
kind of
pub with 60 people, and half of them are just playing pool
yeah,
in the background.
yeah,
But good
yeah.
travel times, good adventures. Now we talked about this a little while ago on the channel. Again, we talk about you guys a lot, but we had the discussion about what we would love to see from you guys. Is because there is an accessibility in the music for people who aren't as familiar with heavy music. We were like, imagine seeing you guys get a pop tour as support. What would be a dream artist for you that's outside of the genre? What would be an artist you guys would love to play with that people wouldn't necessarily put you with? Let's manifest this
Um,
bad boy.
yeah, I mean, like in a super unrealistic way, like Justin Bieber or something. But
Oh, yeah.
that's like, but I feel like we would scare a lot of Justin Bieber fans. It's funny because I know we're on the softer side of metal, but people who are not
It's still heavy.
into, yeah, exactly. It's like a
Yeah.
Justin Bieber fan. Like I remember, God, what's that Taking Back Sunday song? I think it's Tell All Your Friends, or I don't know. It's the one where Fred, he's saying like I got it bad at the end of a song, and he's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
Oh
screaming
yeah.
it. And in my head, I'm like, he's kind of screaming it. And I remember my oldest sister, she doesn't really listen to like this kind of music. I remember her being like, "Oh my God, that's so like heavy." And I was just like, they're like a emo rock band. I don't know, but it's just I know that yeah, if we played like Pale Moonlight in front of a Justin Bieber fan, they would just be like, "What is happening right now?" So
But
it might not be
also,
super
that might turn them
realistic.
on into like my wife doesn't like heavy music. And she came along with me to see Bring Me last year, the year
Yeah.
before. And
Yeah.
because I was like, the show will be amazing. And she was like, I can handle the heavy stuff in a live setting because it like I can feel it on record in the car too loud, but like the live experience, I feel like that's something with you that you could convert people over to it because you're very handsome, you sound like an angel, but also throw a bit
Oh,
of devil in
thanks.
there.
Yeah, or you get people, spreading rumors online that I actually do worship Satan and I sold my soul to the devil. So
Makes
that's a
sense.
fun, nice
Yeah. But
thing.
we're
People
going to
don't.
cut that up so it says, I worship Satan.
I sold myself to the devil.
We're all about views here, bro. Hey,
That'd be hilarious, actually.
I say Justin Bieber. Is there any others?
Um, in like the pop world, what's
It doesn't
crazy
have to
was
be
I
pop, just
saw.
anyone you'd like to tour with that you think that it hasn't happened yet, but it would be like a cool opportunity.
Oh yeah, totally. Like Bring Me the Horizon for sure. Sleep Token, just like kind of those next level rock bands where it's like you can like go into like stadiums and
Sure.
play for a lot of people. Yeah, they're great. We love Spirit Box. We'd love to be on the road with them sometime. I know Evanescence, another good one. Just like,
Mm.
Oh, see, that's something I could definitely see that working as
You
well.
covered Evanescence. Did you a little
Yeah.
solo a cover of it? I could see that happening. Amy bringing you out.
maybe, yeah. Yeah, we that was really cool because they sometimes people at the label will try and like schmooze you and be like, "Oh yeah, this person like loved your song or your record," and you're like, "Yeah, right." And then he mentioned that about Amy Lee. He was like, "Oh, we sent her the cover and she loved it, and the band's gonna post about it from their socials." And I was like, "Okay, dude." And then like a day later, yeah, they reshared. We did like a live playthrough of it, and they reshared it, and yeah, just had really nice things to say. And I was like, "That's crazy." So hopefully that does feel like a foot in the door of like,
We're
"Hey, you
seeing
need a
them this
support
Saturday.
band?"
We'll
Like,
we'll drop in the good word for
Yeah.
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let her know we're available.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anytime they want. All right. So quickly though, new album has dropped. Man, how's it being received? Because obviously you are a band that do divide opinion because of
Selling your
this
soul to the
this
devil
yeah.
and
Of course, yeah, and the soup kitchens. No, but like because
Yeah.
you guys have a sound that is so one end of the spectrum to the other at times, how are you feeling about this in terms of reception? Because when we spoke, one of the times we spoke last time, um, we made a lot of jokes about metalcore Reddit and what the trolls on there
Yeah.
have to say. I feel like this one is getting a much more positive reception.
On metalcore Reddit or in general?
we don't worry about
Yeah,
medical
just
Reddit. Fuck
yeah,
that off.
yeah.
No, it's funny. Me and the guys talked about that. If metalcore Reddit does not like your album, it's actually it's the best. It's the best sign for your band that you're doing well because they want really obscure metal and they like bands that I love and friends of mine. But it's like like they'll headline that they can't like get past the level of like a 500 to 1,000 cap club because it's really obscure, strange metal, and it's like I totally understand it, but no, I mean it's just it's a funny process because it felt like Sleep Talk was our first like career defining album where we grabbed a lot of new fans and people started really liking us, and then it's funny to see the shift. It was like we put out Dark Sun after that, and then noticed that some people were like, "It's okay. It's not Sleep Talk though," or like, "This album isn't good. It's not Sleep Talk." And then it's funny now that Creature is out. People are like, "It's not Dark Sun. I mean, it's pretty good." And it's just you realize it's just always gonna be this like. And I know when we do our next record, people are like, "Well, it's not Creature, but it's pretty okay." It's just funny. I feel like we've changed a little bit, but I feel like at our core, like it's all pop structured rock music with like good production and metal and screaming thrown in. And it's just some people, it's funny seeing some people, it feels like they take it so personally that you changed your sound or tried something different. But we're really proud of the record. I feel like, yeah, it's funny. You can see 1,000 comments that say it's amazing. And then if you see one saying it's the worst thing in the world, it just makes you second guess for a sec. Is it the worst thing in the world?
That's
Because,
just human nature, though. We like
Yeah.
we're,
we focus on the negative, stupid minds.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but I think I'm getting better though at just kind of blocking out the noise. And I think when we did you get back your first week numbers, and I think our label said it tripled or quadrupled our streaming numbers for Dark Sun, and
Wow.
our streaming has been up like higher than it ever has, and it feels like our shows are selling faster than they normally do. So I think that same thing happened with Dark Sun though. I remember we put out Dark Sun, and I saw a few sour comments about it, and it really messed with my head for a second, and then I
Well, that was also a
realized
very personal album to you as well.
it was, yeah, it was all. This album still is too, though. But I think that's the harder part too. Is it's hard to, like I write a song and I record it, and I might listen back and I might shed tears because it reminds me of a really personal and powerful experience. And then you put it online and somebody's just like, "This is gay," and you're just like, but it's okay. But I mean, everybody has their opinion. It's okay for people to not like our music, but I just try and focus on the reality. I think if we were putting out music and then we were playing shows and and we started falling into like a trapped thing where it was like, damn, we have to play small dive bars now and there's like 50 people here. That would be kind of a gut punch. But I think to put out new music and notice that there's consistent growth and more people are interested in your band, it's like you have to just kind of block out, these weird people online who even feel comfortable enough to go to your page and say horrible things to you, and just kind of focus on like our shows are good, our streaming numbers are great. Like we all get to play music and support our families off of just touring. So like I don't know what
You're
more you
doing
can
it
ask
right.
for, but yeah, we're happy it's out there. We're very proud of it. We love the record, so we're gonna see what happens.
We've obviously covered you guys since we first started the channel. We've been fans of Dayseeker since before we did this for a job. But from our perspective, watching our views increase video to video for you guys and seeing the overwhelmingly positive response, it's so nice because obviously like we're buds and we're stoked to see you guys succeed. But from just like watching people get what you guys do and more people come to the party and appreciate it, I think that's a really cool thing because as I said, we've been fans of you for a long time, and it's nice to see the world catching up, and hopefully that just continues to go that direction because genuinely you deserve it.
And it's also wild because like our views for Dayseeker videos go up, but the longer we've been doing this channel, like people really should hate us way more.
Oh, heaps of negative comments, but they're like, never about you. It's all
do
about
I have
us.
to sit through those two dickheads again just to watch a Dayseeker review?
Seriously? Oh man, it's just it's a negative place out there sometimes. But I mean, but you guys do well. I feel like you're popular in like the interview scene, and like I enjoy my interviews with you guys like more than like 90% of the ones that I have to do.
Who are
So
those
you guys are
10%?
doing
We're
something
gonna
that-
get them. Taking out the competition. It's the other way we can win. Dude, as we said, we're so pumped to have you come back out. We'll spend a couple of days hanging. Looking forward to watching you. 3 days straight. That's never too much Rory and the boys.
There you go. No soup kitchens, okay?
Yeah, I do. We want to hear you announce on stage, "Hey, we're Rory, please." Actually, don't do that. Don't do that.
Never listen to Johnny's ideas.
Hey, before you go, quickly, because you are playing a festival and we are celebrating good things, of course, give us a quick 5-band festival lineup. Rory's Dream Festival.
You don't have to worry about what the rest of the guys want. Your personal festival that you want to witness, you're not playing, you just get to go and watch.
Interesting. I would pick Bring Me the Horizon for sure.
Headlining?
Spirit Box. Yeah, why not? Feels like that would happen. I would pick Spirit Box just because I love them. They're great.
Yep.
Knocked Loose is a wild band to see live for sure.
Agreed.
I would pick Holding Absence just because I love Lucas's voice. I think he's just one of the best live singers in our scene.
And one of the nicest dudes.
Literally one of the sweetest dudes you'll ever meet.
Oh, he's painfully nice. Yeah, he's a really sweet guy. And then I'd pick Architects. Yeah, Architects is just great live band.
Yeah. Do you know what's cool about that? They're all artists we've seen in the past 12 months or are going to be seeing in the next 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's good news. Love that.
Yeah, it's good shit, dude.
Yeah. Good choices. All right, Rory, dude, thanks for hanging. We'll see you here in a couple of weeks. Also, congratulations to the album. It is Without Blowing Smoke. It's fucking sick, and you guys have crushed it, but we never expect anything less.
Thanks, man. Hey, love you guys. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it,
man.
Dude.
Appreciate you as always. Bye.
Yeah. See you, man.